Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Friday Happy Hour. Today I'm going to go over the final exam review. Okay, these are the topics that I will try to cover. Okay, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 12, 13 topics. As an instructor, when I give a final, this is what I cover more or less. Okay, all these topics here. Some of these topics, I cover them because you're going to need them for Math 1325. Okay, that's why all these topics are kind of targeted for the next math course if you need to take another math course. Okay, so let's begin. The first topic is going to be find the equation of the line passing through 2 points, through negative 2, 5 and negative 4, 6. So the objective here is I need to find the equation in slope-intercept form, which is y equals to mx plus b. So what do we need? We need the m, which is my slope, and we need the b, which is the y-intercept. Okay, so I'm going to need the slope formula. The slope formula is m equals to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And then to find the b, or the y-intercept, b equals to y minus mx. Okay, this is how you find your b. Okay, now, here are my points, right? My points is x1, y1, and x2, y2. So then we can call this negative 2 can be x1, 5 can be y1, negative 4 can be x2, and 6 can be y2. Okay, and here they are. So then all we do is put the formula and plug in the points, or the numbers, right? My y2 is 6, minus y1 is 5, my x2 is negative 4, minus my x1 is negative 2. So to simplify this will be negative 1/2, because 6 minus 5 is 1. Negative 4 minus negative 2, these two negatives become a positive. So this will be the same thing as negative 4 plus 2, which is negative 2. So my slope is negative 1/2. Okay, now I need to find my b, which is a y-intercept. So we have to choose one point. I like to choose the first point, but you can choose the negative 4, 6 or the negative 2, 5, but I just choose the first point. So that's the point that I'm going to choose. The point doesn't matter, okay? So then b equals to y minus mx. So my y is 5, my x is negative 2, and my m is 1/2. Negative 1/2 is what we just found right now. So all we do is plug him in. So b equals to 5 minus 1/2 times negative 2, which is equal to 4. Why 4? Because negative 1/2 times negative 2 will give me here. Hold on here. You know what, guys? This is supposed to be 6 here. I made a mistake here, because negative 2 times 1/2 is going to be negative 1, and then negative will be a positive. So this should be a 6 here, guys. My bad. So then my equation would have been y equals to negative 1/2 x plus 6. Okay, because this is supposed to be positive 1. So I did a mistake here. So this is supposed to be a 6. I just got that. So the answer is going to be y equals to negative 1/2 x plus 6. Okay. Let me move on to the next thing. Okay, now this is called find the difference quotient. So you want to find f of x plus h minus f of x over h. And h cannot be 0. Why is that? Because if h is 0, this will be undefined, because on a rational expression or a fraction, the denominator can never be 0, because something over 0 is undefined. Okay? So what's the objective here? I need to find f of x plus h, right? I need to find this part first, because f of x is already here. So I need to find the f of x plus h and then subtract it from f of x, which is x squared minus x plus 4. Okay, so first, let's find f of x plus h, which means I'm going to plug in x plus h for every x, which means I'm going to plug it in here, and I'm going to plug it in here. So there's my x plus h squared and my x plus h. So first, let me evaluate the x plus h squared. Okay, I'm going to do it here on the side. X plus h squared is the same thing as x plus h times x plus h, which equals to x squared plus x times h plus x times h plus h squared. How do we get that? Because x times x is x squared by doing the FOIL. X times positive h will give us xh. and h times x will give us hx or xh, which is the same thing. And h times h is h squared. So to simplify this, this becomes x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. So the x plus h squared is here in orange. Now minus the x plus h plus 4. Now let's simplify that. So we have x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. Negative 1 times x will give us negative x. Negative times a positive h will give us a negative h, and we just bring down the 4. So here's a hint. Okay. So now I have this part already, right? The f of x plus h. Now minus f of x. This is my f of x, right? Which was my original function. So now here I'm going to distribute the negative to negative x squared will give me negative x squared. This will give me a positive x. This will give me a negative 4. Okay. Now here's like a hint or an observation. Here's you can tell if you're doing your work correct. Okay, hint. Term without an h will be eliminated. So for example, does the x squared have an h? No. So somewhere it's got to cancel. You see there's x squared minus x squared. Does 2xh have an h? Yes, so that stays. Does h squared have an h? Yes, it does. It stays. Does negative x have an h on the term? No, it doesn't. So somewhere there has to be a positive x. And here it is. Does negative h have an h in the term? Yes, it does, so it stays. Does 4 have an h? No. So somewhere there's going to be a negative 4, and there it is. They cancel. So what's left is every term that has an h. Okay, now, so this is the top portion here on the difference quotient. Is f of x plus h minus f of x. Now, I'm going to factor out an h, right? Because they have a common in h. I'm going to factor out an h. So if I take out an h, I'm left with 2x plus h minus 1. And how can we check our work? H times 2x will give us 2xh. H times h will give us h squared. And h times negative 1 will give me negative h. So I know I'm in the right path. Now, you see, so this, the h over 2x plus, the x times 2x plus h minus 1 is what's here on the numerator. So now, let's bring down the h. You see, guys, so the h cancel. H divided by h is 1, and 1 times 2x plus h minus 1. So this is your solution, guys. And this is crucial if you're taking the 1325, because this is a long way to find derivatives. Okay, and I know at this stage you don't know what they are, but when you take 1325 is like calculus 1. Okay, and this is a long way to do derivatives. Okay, so you have to know this right here. Okay. So now number 3. Hey guys, if you have any questions as I'm explaining the material, please raise your hand up, and then Patricia will let me know what type of question you have, right? Or else if you can write the question on the chat and she will let me know what it is. Number 3, the manufacturer suggested retail price, which is a MSRP for a base model 2016 Toyota Prius, is $25,035, and it is expected to be worth $14,115 in 4 years. So for A part, they want to find a linear depression function for this car. For part B, they want you to estimate the value of the car in 5 years from now. At what rate is the car depreciating? Okay, so let's find A part. Okay, now we need to find 2 points from the problem here. Okay, now when the car is brand new, right, x equals to 0 because or x or t because no time has passed. So the original price is $25,035. So then y equals to $25,035. Okay, and x is 0, and that's my y. That's my first point. My second point, right? How many years is going to be, right? 4 years is going to be my x, and the 14,115 is going to be my y on the second point. Okay, the car is worth $14,115, so x equals 4 because it's 4 years from 2016. So x is 4 and y is equal to 14,115. So that's my second point. And now you're going to do what we did earlier. I believe it was problem number 1, right? Give me 2 points. You need to find the equation of the line. So I need to find my slope. There's my formula, right? So it's like this, right? So this is it's going to be y2, which is 14,115 minus y1, right? There it is right there. And then x2 minus x1, which is 4 minus 0. You're going to get negative 10,920 over 4, which is negative 2,730. So this is my slope, my m. Okay. Now I need to find my b, right? My b equals to y minus mx. So it's always wise to use the first point, right? The one with the 0, because it'll be easier to evaluate. So y is 25,035, x is 0, and my m is negative 2730, right? The slope that we just got. So my b equals to y. My y is 25,035 minus my m is the one that we just found, which is negative 2730, and x is 0. So to simplify it, b equals to $25,035. So that's my b. So my function is, there's my slope, there's my b, there's my function. My function will be negative 2730x plus 25,035. So that's the answer for A. Okay. Okay, now for B part, it says estimate the value of the car in 5 years from now. So we're going to find f of 5. We need to find f of 5, right? So then all we do is plug in 5 for the x. So it's going to be f of 5 is negative 2730 times 5 plus 25,035, which will give us 11,385. So the car will be worth $11,385 in 5 years. Check this out, guys. This is like another way to do it. This was your price, right? When the car was brand new, and every year it goes down to $2,730. So every year that passes, right, that's how much money it goes down, right? So in 5 years, so all you do is you can multiply 5 times that, right, and they deduct it from 2535. That's what I did here, but it's easier to use a formula. Now for C, at what rate is a car depreciating? This means what is the slope, which was 2,730. So these are the 3 answers for 3, A, B, and C. Okay. And this is how you work every word problem that they want you to find a linear function and y equals to mx plus b. You always have to find 2 points. Okay. Let me continue. Number 4 says here, find the vertex, the axis of symmetry, y-intercept, and x-intercepts of the function. Okay, now, hey guys, if it's in this form, right, in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, there are certain things that are visual. You should know certain things. For example, you should know what the y-intercept is. Okay, and then for the vertex, there's a formula. This is how you find the vertex. This is how you find the axis of symmetry. Once you find the vertex, the x part of the vertex is my axis of symmetry, but you have to put x equals because it's a line, right? The axis, it's the line of symmetry. Then the y-intercept is 0c. So this will always be my y-intercept, which is 9. You see that's visual. You guys should know that right off the bat. That's always your y-intercept. And for the x-intercepts, you have to know how to factor. Okay, so these are the plan for each one of these to find the vertex, axis of symmetry, y-intercept, and x-intercept. So let's start. So here, guys, my a is 1, right? Because the a is a number or the coefficient in front of the x squared. If there's nothing there, there's like a 1 there. So a is 1. And my b is 10. So I need to find negative b over 2a. So all I do is plug it in. So negative, right? So my b is 10. And there's my 2, and my a is 1. So all we do is plug him in. This becomes negative 10 over 2, which is negative 5. Now I need to find f of negative 5, right? Because this is what this means. once I find my x on the vertex, all we do is plug it back to the original, whatever I found. So it was -5, so I'm going to find f of -5, go back to the original problem, which is right here. So I'm going to plug -5 where the x is. So -5 goes there, and -5 goes there. And if you plug this in the calculator, guys, you're going to get -16. Why is that? Because -5 times -5 is 25. 10 times -5 will give us -50. So -50 plus 25 will give us -25. -25 plus 9 will give us -16. So this is my answer here, guys. So what's my vertex? There's my vertex. Now, what's the axis of symmetry? This is my axis of symmetry, right? Because -b over 2a was what I found first, which was a -5, but it's a line. So you have to put x equals to -5. And what's my y-intercept? C equals 9, so it's going to be 0, 9. And now for the x-intercepts, you have to know how to factor. So I let the function equal to 0. Now to factor, I believe I did a PowerPoint on factoring, I believe in the 3rd week. So you guys can go back and watch that video so you guys, can know how to factor. But if you know how to factor, this will be x plus 9 and x plus 1. Then we apply the zero property theorem, which x plus 9 must equal to 0, or x plus 1 must equal to 0. We subtract 9 to both sides, so x equals to -9. And then the other one is going to be x equals to -1. So these are my x-intercepts. And also, if you're doing your homework on MyMathLab, at times, some of the students, they're confused how to enter the answers. So this is like a heads up. If it has x equals, and then it says to write the intercepts with a comma in between, right? So they want you to put x equals to -9, comma x equals to -9, comma -1. But if they want it in order pair, this is what you have to put, -9, 0 and -1, 0. So be real careful when you do the homework on WebAssign. Not WebAssign, on MyMathLab. Okay, now number 5 is another form, right? But now this is called vertex form or standard form. It depends on the author. At times, they call this vertex form. So again, they want you to find the vertex, axis of symmetry, y-intercept, and x-intercept of the function. So on this one, what's visual? You guys should know 3 things just by looking at the function. Okay, my vertex is hk. So hk is my vertex. If you notice, this is x minus h. So if it's minus here, then h is positive. If it's plus here, then h is negative. That's like a hint or heads up. The axis of symmetry will be x equals to h. So whatever h is, that's my axis of symmetry, x equals to h. For my y-intercept, you write the y-intercept is not that visual like in the other form. So for y-intercept, you're going to let x equals 0 and solve for y. And for the x-intercepts, you're going to let y equals 0 and solve for x. Okay, so let's execute the plan here for each topic here. So the first topic is find the vertex. So my h is -3, right? And my y is my h and my k. My h is -3 and my k is -16. So this is my vertex. Now, what's the axis of symmetry? It's going to be the x value of the vertex. So it's going to be x equals. Oh yeah, there's my vertex. So x equals to -3. Okay. Now, for the y-intercept. For the y-intercept, we're gonna let x equal 0. So if that's 0, right? 0 plus 3 is 3, right? So 3 squared is 9. 9 minus 16 is equal to -7. So that's my y-intercept. Now for the x-intercept. G of x is the same thing as y, right? So we let y equal 0 and solve for x. So now I'm going to add 16 to both sides because I'm trying to isolate the x plus 3 squared and then try to have x by itself. So then I'm going to take the square root of both sides. Right? I like to put what I'm solving on the right side, right? This is the same thing as here, right? So if I take the square root here to both sides, so it's going to be a square root of x plus 3 squared equals to plus or minus the square root of 16. So the square root and the square, they eliminate each other. So we have x plus 3 equals to plus or minus 4. Now I'm going to subtract 3 to both sides. So x equals to negative 3 plus or minus 4. It's always wise to put the negative 3 first. Because if you have plus or minus 4 minus 3, it's a little bit more confusing for the student. So always put the negative 3 first. So then you're going to break them in two. X equals to negative 3 plus 4, and x equals to negative 3 minus 4. So negative 3 plus 4 equals to 1. Negative 3 minus 4 equals to negative 7. So these are my x-intercepts. Okay. So you already have like the pattern of how to solve the vertex, axial symmetry, y-intercept, and x-intercepts in both forms. In this form, and also like number 4, when you have ax squared plus bx plus c. You know how to do it, in both forms now. Just follow what I have here in red. Okay, now, how do these problems, because at times, students like, hey, Mr. Isasi, how does this relate to real life? Okay, here's an example of how they relate to real life. Number 6, the revenue of McDonald's Corporation in billions of dollars for the year 2015 from 2015 to 2015 can be approximated by the quadratic function. So this is like the same year. So this is supposed to be, I believe, 10, guys. My bad about that. That's supposed to be 10 then, 2010 to 2015. R of x equals to negative 1/2 x squared plus 13x minus 57, where x equals to 10 corresponds to the year 2010. Okay. So it says here, find the vertex. So how do we find the vertex? So again, the vertex is negative b over 2a, f of negative b over 2a. So this is my function. My a is negative 1/2 or negative 0.5, and my b is 13. So negative b over 2a is equal to negative 13, right? This is 13, but the formula says that it's negative, right? Negative b over 2a, so this is negative and then 13. And this my a is negative 0.5, so this gives us 13, because negative divided by a negative will give you a positive, and 2 times 0.5 is 1, so 13 divided by 1 is 13. So then I find r of 13, right, which is this part here, which means I'm going to plug in 13 back to the original function for every x. So I'm going to plug it in here and also here. You see right there, the 13. So you put that in the calculator, it's going to give you 27.5. So that's my vertex, 13, comma, 27.5. Now, once you find the vertex, you already found the answer for B and C. It says here, this is the answer for A part, the answer for B. In what year during this period was the revenue at a maximum? So it's going to be the x part of the vertex. After you find the vertex, in what year will be 13, right? But it's not 13. If x equals to 10 corresponds to 2010, then 13 corresponds to the year 2013. So that's a year. Okay. Now for C part, in 2013 the revenue was at a maximum. Okay, now so for C part, what was the maximum revenue is going to be the y part of the vertex. So the y value is 27.5, but it says to round off to the nearest billion, so it's going to be 28 billion. This is the answer for C. So in other words, when they give you this type of problem, all you have to do is find the vertex. And the x part of the vertex will be the answer for the year. And then when it's asking for maximum or minimum revenue, the y part of the vertex will be the answer for C, which is the maximum revenue in this case. That's how this problem is related to quadratic functions. Okay, now solve the exponential equation. You have 9x equal to 27. So in this case, I want to use the same base, right? I believe I did this workshop about 5 weeks ago, where solving exponential functions, equations. So to use the same base, right? You want these to be the same, right? So they're not the same. So I'm going to try to make them the same. If I put 9 squared equals 81, it doesn't give me 27, which means I need to find the common base between 9 and 27. Right, so the common base will be 3, because 9 equals to 3 squared. 27 equals to 3 cubed. You see, now I found the common base. This is my base, that's the exponent. So I'm going to replace 3 squared where the 9 is, right? We've done the x. And also I'm going to replace 27 by 3 cubed. Now when they have the same base, but here, guys, we're going to apply the exponential rule, or the exponential power rule, which means when you have a power to a power, you multiply the powers. So this will be 2 times x will be 2x. Now they have the same base, right? When they have the same base, then the exponents must equal to each other. So 2x must equal to 3. We divide by 2. X equals to 3 over 2. That's your answer. And you can always check your work. How can you check it? By plugging in 3/2 for x back on the original. We see we plug in for x. So 9 to the 3/2 equals 27. You can plug this in the calculator, but you have to be real careful that when you plug in a fraction in the calculator, you have to put that in parentheses. Or there's another way to get the answer. Okay, but I believe it's in my other PowerPoint. But this means that this would be like, I mean, for example, if you have a base to a fraction exponent, this is called my index, and that's a power. That means what's the square root of 9, which is 3, and 3 cubed is 27. Or you can just put it in the calculator, and it's going to give you 27. So 3/2 is the correct answer. Now number 8. Number 8, it says the assets in billions of dollars for Prudential Financial Incorporated can be approximated by the function a of x equals to 315 e to the 0.056x, where x equals to 7 corresponds to the year 2007. Find the assets of the following years, the year 2000 and the year 2012. Okay? So solution. Since x equals 7 corresponds to the year 2007, right? Right here where it says x equals 7 corresponds to the year 2007. So then x equals 0 corresponds to the year 2000. And x equals 12 corresponds to the year 2012. So in other words, for A part, I'm going to find A of 0. And for B part, right, I'm going to find A of 12, right? But let's do A of 0 first. A of 0 means that I'm going to plug in 0 for the x right there. So this will be 315 e to the 0 power, right? Because 0.056 times 0 will give you 0. Now, anything to the 0 power is going to give us 1. So 315 times 1 will give us 315. So this is the answer for A. But since it's in billions, it's going to be 315 billion. Now for so I mean, up here, good to know. Hey guys, every time 315 is called the initial value because time is 0. So in other words, every time, guys, this will be the initial value, right? Because no time has passed. So when that's 0, this is called the initial value. Okay, that's like a heads up. So every time x is 0, this will be my initial value if you have this type of function here. Now for B part. A of x, right? So now here, so we're going to evaluate A at 12. So we're going to plug in 12 for the x here on the exponent. Here, guys, make sure that you put it in the calculator just the way it is with parentheses, because the calculator follows PEMDAS, which is called order of operations. If you put it like this, guys, and the calculator, because some calculators they don't give you the exponent like a little square here on top for the exponent. If it does that, you're okay, but it's always wise to put everything in parentheses, because if not, this will be an incorrect answer. So you're going to enter it like this. That will give you 616.8171575. Now round out to the nearest billion, so it's going to be 616.8 billion. So that's the answer for B. Okay, now guys, number 9. Because I know that I'm going a little bit fast because there's like 27 problems that I need to finish. And I believe we're going to go a little bit over. But I believe it's worth it because this is for the final. Okay, now this is number 9. It says here, a deadly virus has infected the world. At the end of January, there are 2 cases, and by the end of April, the cases had grown to 128. Hey guys, I came up with this problem during the time when COVID started back in 2020. I think it was January or February that it started. So the classes were on lecture, so I came up with this problem just so students can know how to relate like a real life situation into math. Okay. So for A part, it says find the model of the form f of t equals to y naught b to the t, or y sub 0, with t equals 0 corresponds to the end of the month of January. Okay, this is crucial here, right? T equals 0 corresponds to the end of the month of January. If the trend continues, about how many people will be infected by the end of the year? Let's find out. So solution. Need to find y naught and my b for part A. Okay, so we're going to give us the info that's given. Y naught is the amount present at time equals to 0. So since t equals 0, right, corresponds to the end of January, right, where it says here, there were 2 cases, so then y naught equals 2. Remember, when t equals 0, this will be the initial value, where I mentioned on the previous slide. So t equals 1, right? So we have to go to the end of April. So t equals 0 corresponds to the end of January, right? And there were 2 cases. Now t equals 1 corresponds to the end of February. T equals 2 corresponds to the end of March. And t equals 3 corresponds to the end of April. So then there were 128 cases, right? So this is a point that I got to use. 3, 128. Okay? So then use what we know to find B. I already found y naught. Right now I need to find B. So f of t equals to y naught b to the t. So let's plug everything in. So f of 3, right, because it's 3, f of 3, because that's what we're looking for. F of 3 corresponds to the end of April. There were 128 cases, which means 128 will equal to 2 b to the t power, and t equals 3, right? So when there's 128, t was 3. So this is my setup to find b. How do we solve for b? We divide both sides by 2. So 128 divided by 2 will give us 64, equals to b cubed. Now, how do we solve for b? We need to raise it to the power of 1/3. Both powers to the power of 1/3, because a power to a power, you multiply the powers, and 3 times 1/3 will give us 1. That's what we want. All right, so this will cancel. So 64 to the 1/3 power equals to 4. And b to the third to the power of 1/3 equals to 1. So b equals 4. So I already found my b. I already found the y naught. So let's plug him into the formula. So this is the formula for part A. F of t equals to 2, 4 to the t power. Now let's find b part. Okay. So now, right, because from January to December will be 11 months, right? If we do the same, what I did here, t equals 1 is February, t equals 2 is March, t equals 3 is April. If you keep going, t equals to 11 corresponds to the end of the year. So then I need to find f of 11, which means I'm going to plug in 11, right, for the formula here, which was the t. This is how many cases would be at the end of the year. So 8,288,608 people will be infected. Hey guys, this is like an estimate if there was no cure. Okay, but since there's like a cure here and there, right, that they're trying like the vaccine and stuff, then the cases will be less. But let's pretend there was no cure. This is how many people will probably be infected. And then it just keeps growing and growing and growing exponentially. Okay, well, this is how you use a problem in real life, like a real life situation. That's where you use this formula here. Okay, now this is number 10. I believe this is from chapter 5, section 5.1, where it's simple interest. It says Gabriel invested his summer earnings of $3,000 in a savings account for college. The account pays 1.5% simple interest. What will be the value of this account after 2 years? How much interest did he earn? So the key thing, guys, because at times students get confused. What formula do we use? right? Here's the key: simple interest. Simple interest formulas, there's two of them. Okay, but for this one, since I want to find the value in the future right after 2 years, this is a formula that you use. So I'm going to put my FV, PV, R, and T. So my FV is what we're looking for, right? Is the future value. What's given is a present value, what you invest right now. So that's a present value. My R will be my percent, 1.5%, but you have to convert it to a decimal. So you're going to move the decimal 2 places to the left and drop the symbol. So that'll be 0.015. And my time, it has to be in years, right? So my time will be 2. All we do is plug everything in. Right, there's my PV. There's my 1 plus 0.015 times 2. So put in the calculator, guys. So that's the answer. So 3,090. So that's how much you will have in 2 years. So then, how much interest did you earn? The interest will be the future value minus the present value, right? This is what you have in the future. This is what you invested. So 3,090 minus 3,000 will give you $90. That's how much you would have in 2 years. Hey guys, nowadays they don't give you too much interest, right? This is about right, about 1.5, 2%, or at the most 3%. But back when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, the banks used to offer like 8 or 9%. Those percentages, that was real good money, guys, back then. But now they offer real low interest, which means the banks, they don't want to pay that much money when you invest some of your some money that you have. Anyway, so this is the so the answer will be 3,090 in 2 years, and the interest earned will be $90. Okay. Number 11. You deposit $9,000 in an account at your bank that pays 2.5 interest semi-annually. How much money will be in your account after 10 years? How much interest did you earn? Okay, now what formula do we use here, guys? When it says compounded interest semi-annually, this would be a compound problem. This is something for 5.2. So this is a formula for 5.2. I like to use the other one, which is, I like to use this one better because it's easier. Because I is equal to R divided by M. And the N is equal to M times T. So I like to use this one better because it's easier for the calculator. Okay, now, right, so I'm going to put all 7 things, right? I'm going to put my V, my PV, my R, my M, my T, the I, and the N. So let's see what we're looking for here. How much money will be in the account after 10 years? So we're looking for the future value. So the present value is how much money you invested or deposit, 9,000. My interest rate is easy to know because it's a number with a percent symbol. So it's going to be 2.5%. But remember, you have to convert it to a decimal. So it's going to be 0.025. My M is how many times it's compounded per year, right? The interest was compounded semi-annually, which means 2. My T will be 10 years. Now, what's my I? My I will be R divided by M. 0.025 divided by 2 gives us 0.0125. My N is M times T. My M is 2 and my T is 10, so that'll be 20. Now, all we do is plug into the formula, right? This is my future value, so my present value is 9,000. My I was 0.0125, and my N is 20. So plug into the calculator, guys, so that's my result. So it's going to be, right, so you have to round that off to the nearest penny, which would be 11,538 and 34 cents. So $11,538 and 34 cents will be in the account after 10 years. How much interest did you earn? Right, so it's going to be interest earned will be the future value. How much did you earn? 11,538.34 minus what you invested, minus 9,000. The answer will be $2,538 and 34 cents. Okay. Now let me continue to number 12. Solve by graphing. So by graphing, okay, now we're going to be solving systems of equations by graphing, by substitution, and the elimination method. I believe this is chapter 6. So equation 1, right? So for equation 1, I need to find my m, my slope, and my b. Right, my b is -6, and that's my starting point. Which means I'm going to start at 0, -6, right? This is the y-intercept, your starting point. It's right here, 0, so this is my starting point right there. So my slope is 3, 1, which means I'm going to go up 3, right? This is the rise over the run, which means I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1 to the right. The point goes there. And all I do is draw my line. Now I need to solve the other equation, the -5x minus 2y equals to -10. So I need to put it, set it up in the equation y equals to mx plus b and slope intercept form, so we can apply what we did in equation 1. So first of all, I need to add 5x to both sides. Right, so 5x to both sides, so it's going to cancel on the left side, and 5x minus 10, you cannot combine them because they're not like terms. Then you're going to divide everything by -2. Right, so this becomes y equals to -5 over 2x plus 5, because -10 divided by -2 will give you 5. So now my slope is -5/2, and my b, which is a y-intercept, will be 0, 5. So this is my starting point, 0, 5. So I'm going to start right here at 0, 5. Then I'm going to go down right because my slope is -5/2. So I can go -5 down and 2 to the right, or I can go 5 up and 2 to the left. But you see, guys, I cannot do that because there's no more space here. So instead, I'm going to apply the negative on the numerator. So I'm going to go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 to the right. 1, 2. There's my point. So draw my line. So the answer is where both lines intersect. The point where both lines intersect is going to be 2, 0. So that's my solution for the system of equations. Okay. This is called a consistent independent system because you have one solution. Okay, now this one we're going to solve it by the elimination method. Okay. So by the elimination method, let me call this equation 1, equation 2. So you want both equations in this form, right? To use the elimination method, both equations must be in the form of ax plus by equals c. Equation 1 is not in that form. So we need to rewrite in equation 1 in proper form. So let's do that. So here, guys, we have to have ax plus by right on the left side, and the c is a constant, so I need to add 2y to both sides. So x plus 2y equals to 19. Now it's in proper form. So this is equation 1 rewritten, and equation 2 is in that format, in the ax plus by equals c. So now I'm going to eliminate the x's or the y's, whatever is easier for the student. In my opinion, it's easier to eliminate the x's. How do we eliminate the x's? Right, like I put here in red, right, what I just said. If this is -4x, then right when you add it, there'll be 0. So I need to multiply equation 1 by -4. So -4 times x will give me -4x. -4 times 2y will give me -8y. And -4 times 19 will give us -76. Equation 2, we'll just bring it down how it is. Right now, we apply, right now we add them. So -4x plus 4x will give us 0. So -8 minus 3 will give us -11y equals to -77. Now we divide both sides by -11. So the answer will be y equals to 7. But remember, guys, the answer for the solution, right, is going to be a point. It has to have a x value and a y value. So I already found my y value. Now I need to go back to either 1 or 2, right? Need to find the x value, plug in 7 for y, and either 1 or 2, whatever is easier for you. So in my opinion, I'll go back to number 1 here, right? Right at the beginning, because the x is already by itself. So I'm going to plug in a 7 for the y is, right there where the y is. So -2 times 7 will give us -14. -14 plus 19, x equals to +5. So as my solution, 5, 7. This is the solution of the system here. Number 14. Okay, now, how do you apply solving systems of equations to real life? Here's an example. it says a 200-seat theater charges $8 for adults and $5 for children. If all seats were filled and the total ticket income was $1,435, how many adults and how many children were in the audience? Okay, so what's the strategy here? Need to find two equations. So like I tell my students, guys, I'm going to use people with people and money with money, or seats with seats and money with money. So, right, so they're talking about seats, right? So I'm going to let X be adult seats and Y be children's seats. So seats with seats means X number of adult seats plus Y number of children's seats must equal to 200. So this will be X plus Y equals to 200. Now I'm going to use money with money, right? So since X equals to adults, right? And the adult tickets are $8, so that's going to be 8X. Children's tickets, right, are $5. Since children's seats is Y, this will be 5Y. And what the total income? $1,435. So total income will be 1,435. So 8X plus 5Y must equal to 1,435. So I have both equations now. Okay. Now I can solve it by either by substitution, by the addition method, or the elimination method. So it's easier to solve it like we did the previous slide. So here, guys, it doesn't matter what you get rid of. But here, I prefer to get rid of the excess. So I'm going to multiply equation 1 by -8. Why -8? Because -8 times x will give us -8x. Then when added to 8x, they'll cancel, or it'll be 0. But in math, you need to apply rules, right? The rule is you can multiply the same number, for both sides of the equation. So in other words, I need to multiply -8 times every term. So -8 times x will give us -8x. -8 times y will give us -8y. -8 times 200 will give us -1600. And equation 2 stays how it is. Now we add them, right? So this will be 0. So -8y plus 5y will give us -3y. -1600 plus 1435 will give us -165. So now we divide both sides by -3. So we get y equals to 55. Now I need to find in the value for x. So I can plug in 55 for y on either both equations. In my opinion, it's easier to use equation 1 because the coefficients are much easier to work with. Okay. I'm sorry about that, guys. Let me see. Oh, what did I do here? Okay, so I'm going to use equation 1. So I'm going to plug in 55 for y and solve for x. Subtract 55 to both sides. So x equals to 145 because 200 minus 55 will give us 145. So then x equals to 145, y equals to 55. So x represents adults, right? So they'll be adult seats. And 55 and y represents children, so that'll be 55 children seats. So it's going to be 145 adults in the audience and 55 children in the audience. So this is the solution for number 14. Okay, now number 15. Hey guys, perhaps this is one of the hardest problems or hardest topics to cover. I like to give this problem, guys, because students need to know it if they take 1325. Chapter 7 is optional for the instructors in 1325. And some students, some teachers, they skip 1325. But some other teachers, they don't skip it. For example, at UTEP, it's similar to 1325, but at UTEP, they don't skip nothing, guys. So you have to understand how to work the Gauss-Jordan method. At the PCC, it's up to the individual instructor. But this is crucial for your next class if you have to take the next class. Okay, now, so this is this is row 1, this is row 2, this is row 3. So I did this PowerPoint also, guys, I believe 3 weeks ago. Okay, where I explained that in detail. But for now, I'm going to just solve it, assuming that you already saw the previous video or the previous recording. So step 1, guys, So step 1, I keep row 1. So I need to change the two. These two must be zeros. So row 2 is going to change, and row 3 is going to change. So I have to use row 1, right, to eliminate row 2 and row 3, the excess here. So I'm going to multiply -2 times row 1 and add it to row 2. I'm going to add row 1 and row 3, right? Because if I add 1 plus -1, they'll cancel, or it'll be 0. So I'm going to add those. So here's my work. So step 1AB means, right, there's 2 steps. So -2 row 1 equals to -2, right? Times row 1, this is row 1 here. 1, 2, -1, 6. So -2 times 1 will give us -2, -4, 2, and -12. Plus row 2, we just bring it down how it is, which is 2, -1, 3, and 2. Once we add them, right, that'll be 0, -5, 5, and -5, and -10. Like I mentioned on the recording that I covered this topic, you can simplify as you go along because it makes your work easier. What I mean by simplify, if you can divide every number here by the same number to give you simplified version, do it. For example, I can divide everything by -5. So I get 0, 1, -1, 2. Because 0 divided by -5 will be 0. -5 divided by -5 will give us 1. 5 divided by -5 will give us -1. And -10 divided by -5 will give us +2. So this is my new row 2. Now let's do the second part here. Row 1 is 1, 2, -1, 6, right? I got it from up here. Plus row 3, I got it from here. -1, -1, 1, -5. So after we add them, it's going to give us 0, 1, 0, 1. So that's my new row 3. So I'm done with step 1. Now step 2, the 2 here and the 1 here at the bottom must be zeros. So I'm going to change row 1 and I'm going to change row 3. And like I said, guys, step 1, we keep row 1 how it is. In step 2, we keep row 2 how it is. And then step 3, we keep row 3 how it is. Okay, but let me continue with step 2. So I need to use this one here, right? So I need to use row 2 to eliminate the 2 on the top row and the 1 on the bottom row. So it's going to be -2 row 2 plus row 1. Here's going to be -1 row 2 plus row 3. And here's my work. -2 row 2 is equal to -2 times 0, 1, -1, 2, right? Because that's my row 2. So after I distribute, I get 0, -2, 2, and -4. Plus row 1, I just bring row 1 over, which is 1, 2, -1, 6. Right? And I add them. I get 1, 0, 1, 2. So that's my new row 1. Now for the second part, -1 row 2, I multiply -1 times every number in row 2, which will give us 0, -1, 1, -2. Then I'm going to add it to row 3. Row 3 will be 0, 1, 0, 1. After I execute the operation, it's going to give me 0, 0, 1, -1. So that's my new row 3. And here, guys, I didn't explain the concept, but you want to make all these 1s and the rest zeros. You see, guys, we do it step by step. So this is step 1, make these zeros. This is step 2, make these 2 zeros. Now for step 3, these 2 must be zeros. The 1 and the -1 for the first and second row must be zeros. So now for step 3, I'm going to keep row 3. So this must be a 0. So I'm going to change row 1. And the -1 must be a 0. I'm going to change row 2 by using row 3. So I can multiply -1 times row 3 and add it to row 1. I can just add row 3 plus row 2, and that'll give me a 0 on that spot right there. Okay, so here's my work. So -1 row 3 is equal to -1 times 0, 0, 1, -1, right? This is my row 3 here. That becomes 0, 0, -1, 0. And then add it to row 1, we just bring row 1 over, which is 1, 0, 1, 2. right? After we add them, it's going to give us 1, 0, 0, 3. So that's my new row 1. Now for the second part here, all we do is add row 3 plus row 2. Again, this is my row 3, the 0, 0, 1, negative 1, which is the bottom row here. This is my row 2, the 0, 1, negative 1, 2, that's my row 2. And after I execute the operation, it's going to give me 0, 1, 0, 1. So that's my new row 2. If you notice, I've accomplished my task. All these are 1s, and the rest are 0s, which means this is like the x, this is my y, this is my z. So in other words, x equals to 3, y equals to 1, and z equals to negative 1. So that's my solution, which is 3, 1, negative 1. Okay, now let's do, I know I already passed it, guys, but please bear with me, guys. I'll be here for like another, 10 minutes. This way I can finish every slide here. Okay, now, let A equal to the matrix negative 2, 0, 5, 3, and B equals to 0, 2, 4, negative 1. Find each of the following. I want to find negative 4A, 5B, and then I'm going to add negative 4A plus 5B. Okay, now, in order to add or subtract matrices, they have to be the same size. Right? So to start off, right, this is for part C. But anyway, negative 4A means negative 4 times matrix A. So I'm going to multiply negative 4 times negative 2, negative 4 times 0, negative 4 times 5, negative 4 times 3. In other words, guys, you guys can go straight from here to the answer. Right? Negative 4 times negative 2 is 8. Negative 4 times 0 is 0. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. Right? This is just to show you what we did. But you can go straight from here, from this step here, all the way to the answer. This is to show what I just covered. Now for 5B, there's my coefficient. There's matrix B, right? 0, 2, 4, negative 6. So in the same manner, right, that's what I do. 5 times 0, 5 times 2, 5 times 4, and 5 times negative 6. So 5 times 0 will give us 0. 5 times 2 will give us 10. 5 times 4 will give us 20. And 5 times negative 6 will give us negative 30. So this is the answer for part B. Now part C, negative 4A, right, is in blue here. The 8, 0, negative 20, negative 12. And plus 5B is in red. Right, what I just did right now. So what I was saying earlier, that in order to add or subtract matrices, they have to be the same size. This is a 2 by 2 matrix. This is a 2 by 2 matrix. So they're the same size, so you can execute the operation, which is addition. So this will be 8 plus 0, 0 plus 10, negative 20 plus 20, and negative 12 plus negative 30. So 8 plus 0, or you can just go, I mean, this is also to show you what I'm doing here, but you can go like this, guys. 8 plus 0 is 8. 0 plus 10 is 10. Negative 20 plus 20 is 0. And negative 12 plus negative 30 will give us negative 42. This is my solution for negative 4A plus 5B. Okay, now multiplication. For multiplication, there's a rule that you have to know. Okay, when you write the order of the matrix or the size of the matrix, for example, A is a 2 by 3 and B is a 2 by 2. These two numbers must be the same in order to execute the operation. Okay, but in this case, right, they have B first. B is a 2 by 2 and A is a 2 by 3, right? So these two are the same. So yes, you can do it. It's a match, and the answer will be a 2 by 3, right? These are the same. They're inner numbers. Then you can do the multiplication, and the answer will be the outer numbers, 2 by 3 matrix. Okay, now step 1. This is matrix B. This is matrix A. So I'm going to multiply the 1, right? I'm going to multiply the first row times every column. So for the first step, I'm going to multiply the first row times column 1. 1 times 2 plus 0 times 4, which give us 2 plus 0, which is 2. So the 2 goes in the first slot. Now my second step. Second step, right? I'm going to keep the I mean still 1 0, right? Because it's in blue because I'm going to multiply it now by the second column. That's why it's going to be in red. So 1 times 0 plus 0 times negative 2. So that'll be 0 plus 0 plus 0. The answer is 0. So 0 will be in that slot right there. Step 3. All right. Now I'm going to multiply by the third column. That's why it's in red. So 1 times 5, 0 times negative 3. Right? And we add it. So 1 times 5 is 5. 0 times negative 3 is 0. So 5 plus 0 is 5. So 5 goes on the last slot. How do I know? Then I need to go to the second row because there's no more columns to multiply by. So then, step 4, I'm done with row 1. Now comes row 2. So I continue the process as step 1. I'm going to multiply row 2 times every column here. So I start with 4 times 2 plus negative 2 times 4, which will be 8 minus 8 is 0. So the 0 goes on the bottom. Step 5. I'm going to multiply the second row times the second column in red. So 4 times 0 plus negative 2 times negative 2. This will be 0 plus 4, which will be 4. So 4 goes on the slot right there. Finally, step 6. I'm going to multiply the second row times the third column. So 1 times 5 plus 0, negative 2 times negative 3, which will give us 6. There will be 20 plus 6. The answer is 26. So this is my solution, guys. Okay, that's how you multiply. Okay, now let's continue. Now comes sets. I believe this is from chapter 7, I think. 7 or 8. Okay, now. It says here, use the given information to find the following. Let U, which is a universal set, equals to A, B, C, D, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set X equals to A, B, 1, 2, 3. Set Y equals to B, D, 1, 3, 5. And Z equals to B, 2, 3. List the members of each of the given sets using set brackets. Okay? Okay, now guys, this is a strategy here. Since we're using the complement of X and the complement of Y, let's find all these what we need to do. So if X equals to A, B, 1, 2, 3, the complement means not or not X, right? So we go to the universal set. So the complement of X is not X, which means it's not A, not B, not 1, not 2, not 3, and that's what's left. And I believe on the PowerPoint that I did about 2 weeks ago, it explains it more in detail. Here, guys, I'm just assuming that you guys already know this. Why? Because I don't have time to cover, go over the topic. So here I'm explaining it, assuming that you already saw the previous videos, okay, or the previous recordings. Now, what this is Y. Now, not Y. So not Y means you go to the universal set. It means not B, not D, not 1, not 3, not 5. So what's left is going to be A, C, E, 2, and 4. So that means that's Y complement, or the way I like to call it, not Y. Not Y means not these on the universal set. So whatever's left. Okay, now Z equals to B, 2, 3. Right here, we don't have not Z, right? So we don't have to worry about Z not. Okay, now, hey guys, this means intersection or and, right? That means intersection or and, or like I like to say, what does set X and set Y have in common? Okay, let's look at set X and Y. Now let's go here. What do they have in common? They have in common a B. They have in common a 1. They have in common and a 3, right? So that's your answer. X, set X and Y, they have in common, or they intersect at B, 1, 2, 3. That's my answer. Okay, now union. This means union or. Okay, this is how I tell my students to do it. Okay, now if the symbol is a union or is called the or symbol, I tell my students just put everything in X, right? Put everything in X, which is A, B, 1, 2, 3. Now you go to the Y set. If it's already here, guys, you don't put it again. For example, let's go to Y. Is the B already here? Yes. So we don't write it again. Is the D here already in X? No. So what's my next is D. Now 1, is 1 already there? Yes, it is. So we don't put it again. Is 3 already there? Yes. So we don't write it again. Is 5, is it here already? No. So we have to put the 5. So that's your solution. That means or union. Okay, not X, right? For C part, not X. So the answer at times they like for you to put them in order, but these are the same thing. If you put that on say the exam was on paper, this is the same thing. But if you look at the back of the book, right, they always like to put it in alphabetical order and also in numbers from least to greatest. But these are not. Both are the same thing. So if you write that on your answer, it's not wrong. Or if you write this, it's not wrong. These are both correct answers. Okay, now for not X, guys, I already found it over here. So that's the answer for not X or the complement of X, which means the same thing. Okay, now the complement of X intersects the complement of Y. So I'm going to go here, right? So that means the symbol means what do they have in common, or it means intersection, or it means and. But I like to say what do they have in common because I believe it makes more sense to the students. So what do these two sets have in common? Do they have a C? Yeah, they do. So my first element will be a C. Do they have a D? No. Do they have an E? Both of them? Yes. So my next one will be an E. Do they have a 4? Yes. So that's everything that they have in common. So that's your answer. Okay. Now, the complement of X intersects Z. So now we're looking at these two here, guys. At this one here on top and that one there. Okay. Do they have a C? No. Do they have a D? No. Do they have an E? No. A 4 or a 5? No. So that's going to be an empty set, right? Which means they don't have nothing in common. These two here. Or this is a symbol, right? So these two are the same thing, empty set. Now, let's do F. So for F, we have to apply, right, the order of operations, which means parentheses first. So first, I need to find what Y and Z have in common, or the intersection of Y and Z. So, right, I'm going to put it here on the right. What does Y and Z have in common? Do they have a B? Yes, so B goes there. Do they have a D? No. A 1? No. A 3? Yes, right, they both have a 3. A 5? No. So this is Y intersects Z, or Y and Z. So I'm going to put that over here. Now, right, remember this means union, right? Union means you're going to write them all down, but you don't repeat them. So let's put everything in X, right? X is A, B, 1, 2, 3. Now let's go to B and 3, right? Which means this, the Y intersects Z is B and 3. Is the B already there? Yes. Is the 3 already there? Yes. So then this is my solution. Okay. That's your answer. Okay, now, number 19. This is how you can apply a Venn diagram. It says 60 people were contracted and responded to a movie survey. The following information was obtained. It says 6 people like comedies, dramas, and science fiction. 13 people like comedies and dramas. 10 people like comedies and science fiction. 11 people like dramas and science fiction. 26 people like comedies. 21 people like dramas. 25 people like science fiction. So it says to use a Venn diagram to illustrate the survey's results. So we have to use a Venn diagram. Okay, so let's do this. There's my universal set. This is going to be right, U is 60 because it's saying that, how do we get 60? Okay, we're going to add, it says 60 people here. That's why U is 60, right? 60 people here. So then I'm going to let this one be comedies, right? Let's see, be comedies. So this is a comedies here. I'm going to let S or D be dramas. So this will be my dramas set here. And S be science fiction. Okay? Hey guys, you always start where they all three intersect. So we all start here. That's why I put it in red. So this is where you start. So 6 people like comedies, dramas, and science fiction. So where they all intersect is right here. So this is where we start. Right? Again here, this is where we start. So it's equal to 6. Right? So that's 6 right there. Now you can go right like in order. 13 people like comedies and dramas, which means comedies intersects dramas, right? Because that means intersection and means intersection. So it's 13, right? So let me go here. So comedies, right? Comedies and dramas is 13. So this part has to be 13. And that's already 6, right? So this has to be 7. Because these two must be 13, right? According to what they have here. Now, 10 people like comedies and science fiction. And again, the and means this is a symbol. So C intersects S will be right here, right? So this is my C and this is my S, which means this is what they have. This is where they intersect. So it's equal to 10. So if that's 6, this has to be 4. Okay. Now let's do 11 people like dramas and science fiction. Dramas and science fiction is this part here, right? This is dramas and this is science fiction. And where they intersect is this part here. So this has to be 11. So if that's 6, this has to be 5. There it is. Now let's go to comedies, right? So 26 people like comedies. So this is comedy. So all this circle has to be 26. So we already have 4 and 6 is 10, and that's 7, right? So 26 minus 17 will give us 9. Because all these, right, for comedies must be 26. So we add these. 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 7 is 17. Then we subtract 17 from 26, which gives us 9. 21 people like dramas, right? So all these must be 21. So already have 6 plus 5, right? Is 11, plus 7 is what? 18. So this has to be 3. 25 people like science fiction. So this is the science fiction, right? Set here. So 25. So we got 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 5 is 15. So this has to be 10. Okay. Now that's the answer for part A. Okay, now, oh no, hold on, guys. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's the answer for part A. Okay, now check this out, guys. So how many numbers, right? The total is 60. So then let's see if all this equals to 60, and if not, whatever is left goes out here, goes outside, which means this, whatever's in the outside means they didn't like none of the movies. Okay, so let's do this. So we have 9 plus 7, right? 9 plus 7 plus 6 plus 4 plus 3 plus 5 plus 10 equals to 44. So all the people that like the movies from the 60 were 44 people. So then we subtract 44 from 60, so that's 16. So X equals to 16. So this is the answer for part A. Now let's do part B. How many people surveyed like comedies, but neither dramas nor science fiction? In other words, why we go to the comedy slot? How many people like comedies? Only comedies, right? Not science fiction nor dramas. So the answer will be 9. Okay. For C part, how many people surveyed like dramas and science fiction, but not comedies? Okay. Dramas and science fiction. Let me go here. Dramas and science fiction, right? How many people? Let me see how many people surveyed like dramas and science fiction, but not comedy. So the answer will be 6. Oh, no, hold on. How many people surveyed like dramas and science fiction, but not comedies? It'll be, oh yeah, it's right here. It'll be 3 plus 5 plus 10, right? So these people like comedies, like dramas and science fiction, but not comedies. So not these right here. So it's going to be all these in the bottom here. Okay, that's why it's 3 plus 5 plus 10 is 18. Okay, now Okay, okay, here, how many people like none of the movies? So the answer was 16. That's why 16 is out of all the sets here. Okay, that's how you solve number 19. Okay, now, number 20. A single playing card is drawn at random from an ordinary deck of 52 cards. Find the probability of drawing a queen, a diamond, a red card, or a face card. So let's do this, right? So when you play cards, there's 13 of each suit. Like there's 13 clubs, 13 spades, 13 hearts, and 13 diamonds, which is a total of 52. That's where the 52 comes from. Okay, if you notice, there's 26 black and 26 red. Okay, what else we have here? There's going to be there's face cards. Face cards are the cards that have a face. For example, these are called face cards, and there's 3 for each suit. For example, there's 3 face cards for the spades, 3 face cards for the clubs, 3 for the hearts, and 3 for the diamonds. Okay, so now let's solve number 20. The probability that you have a queen, which means, right, my sample space will be 52 because there's 52 cards. So how many queens are there? There's 4, right? Because there's 1 on each suit. So there's 4 queens. So it'll be 4 over 52 equals to 1 over 13. So this is my answer, guys, 1 over 13. The probability there's going to be a diamond, right? So there's 13 diamonds. It's going to be 13 over 52. So the answer will be 13 over 52 will be 1/4. So that's the answer for B. For C, that the probability that you choose a card that's red, right? So there's 26 reds and 26 blacks. So there's 26 reds or 52, which will equal to 1/2. Now for D, okay? So here, a face card or an ace. So how many face cards are there? We said, right, there was 3 in each suit, so there's going to be 3 times 4 is 12. How many aces are there? There's 4 aces, right? 1 in each suit, so plus 4. Over the sample space, which is 52. So that'll be 16 over 52 will give you something like 4 over 13. So this is the answer. This is a probability that they're going to choose a face card or an ace. Is 4 over 13. Okay, now, number 21. We're almost done here, guys. 21. Suppose 2 fair dice are rolled. Find each of the given probabilities. The first die shows a 2, or the sum of the result is 6 or 7. Okay, now, if you're confused about what does it mean by a fair dice, it means that all the sides of the dice have the same weight. Because there's some dice that are called loaded dice, which means some of the sides are heavier than the other sides, which means that particular die will always land on the number that's heavier than the side. These are all fair, means they'll have the same chance to be rolled. Okay, so I'd like to show all the possible combinations here. Okay, so we're gonna let A represent the event that the die shows a 2, right? And let B be the sum is 6 or 7. So you see, so this is all the possible combinations. So for A, right, this is a formula that I'm going to use. So let A represent the event that the first die shows a 2. So this is event A, right? The first die is a 2, if you notice, right? So that's the event. So it's going to be how many? It's going to be 6. I mean, the sample space is 36, but that event will be 6. Now, for B, right? B, that the sum is 6 or 7. So how many are there? 11, because you have 1, 2, let me see here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, that the sum is 6 or 7, so it's 11. So the probability that that the first die shows a 2 or the sum of the result is 6 or 7, right? That order, guys, means is union. So the probability of A, which is the first die is a 2, is 6 over 36, plus the probability of B, which is the sum is 6 or 7, will be 11 over 36, minus what do they have in common, right? What do they intersect? They intersect here, right? They have in common is that one, and that one, so it's going to be 2, minus 2 over 36. So 6 plus 11 is what? 17. 17 minus 2 is 15. So the answer will be 15 over 36. We simplify. The answer will be 5 over 12. Okay, now for part B. For part B, right? So there's again the combinations. So again, the sample space will be 36, right? Because there's 6 this way and 6 down. So 6 times 6 is 36. That would always be your a sample space. So again, same thing. So we're going to let A represent the event. The sum is 11. And let B, so the 11 will be these two here, right? That's my sum. And the second die shows a 5 will be, let B represent the event that the die shows a 5, right? The second die shows a 5. So the second die is a 5 will be this one here. All these right here. So it's going to be 6, right? So where do they intersect? A intersects B will be right there. So that's going to be 1. So here we go. So the probability of A is going to be 2 over 36. The probability of B will be 6 over 36 minus the probability of A intersects B will be 1 over 36. So 2 plus 6 is 8 minus 1 is 7. So that's your answer, guys. Okay. Okay, now this is going to be now permutations now and combinations. Number 22. For many years, the state of California used 3 letters followed by 3 digits on its automobile license plates. No, 26 letters are in the alphabet and 10 digits make all the numbers. So how many different license plates are possible with this arrangement, right? So we're going to have what? This is going to be what, 3 letters here and 3 numbers. So how many letters can go on the first lot? 26, 26, 26, and then 10 times 10 times 10. So we multiply them out. That's going to give us 17,576,000 possible arrangements. Okay, this is right because there's no restrictions there. Okay, now look at B. When the state ran out of new numbers, the order was reversed. You start with 3 digits followed by 3 letters. How many license plates are then possible? So the order was reversed. 3 digits followed by 3 letters. So again, it's going to be 10, 10, 10, 26, 26, 26. So the answer will be the same thing, right? Because when you multiply, the order does not change. The order of, if you apply the, what's it called? That is the order when you multiply, if it changes, you still get the same answer. For example, 3 times 5 will be the same thing as 5 times 3. So same thing here. Now for C, let's see here. Several years ago, the number described in part B were also used up. The state then used plates with 1 letter followed by 3 digits and then 3 letters. So again, there's my letter, there's my digits, and there's my other letters. So that'll be 26 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 26, 26, 26. You multiply those out, and that's your solution. 456,176,000. Okay. Now we're doing permutations and combinations for 23. These are the clue words. Arrangement, schedule, order is permutation. Or order matters. And for combinations, group, committee, set, sample, order does not matter. This, you know, is going to be a combination. So it says here, a lottery game requires that you pick 6 different, I forgot to put here numbers, 6 different numbers from 1 to 99. If you pick all 6 winning numbers, you win $4 million. How many ways are there to choose 6 numbers if the order is not important? So that means, right, it's going to be a combination, right? Because the order is not important. Okay, so it's going to be NCR. That means 96, combination 6. So this is the answer, guys. And again, I show how to get the answer, guys, right, by showing the work on the previous recording. But here, guys, you can just plug this in the calculator, 99, combination 6, and it's going to give you this answer here, which is 1,120,529,256. Okay, now for B part. How many ways are there to choose 6 numbers if order matters? So order matters is going to be a permutation. So it's going to be 99 permutation 6. So this is my answer here, guys. 806,781,064,320. Okay, now we're almost done, guys. I think I need one more slide or 2 more slides. And this is like 59. If you pick 5 out of 6 numbers correctly, you win 5,000. And how many ways can you pick exactly 5 of the 6 winning numbers without regard to order? Okay, so without the order, it's going to be a combination. Okay. So you're going to pick 5 out of 6 numbers, right? So it's going to be 5 out of 6 means 6 combination 5. But remember, guys, the lottery requires that you need to pick 6 numbers from 99. That was what's missing here, guys. Okay, from number 59. So then, right, so I have to choose 1 out of 93, right? Because this must equal 6 and this must equal 99. That was the problem from number 59. Because I believe it was saying that you have to choose 6 numbers out of 99, right, to win the lotto. But in this case, if you chose 6 out of the 6 numbers correctly, you win 5,000. But the total numbers were 99. That's where this comes from. And the next time that I do this this review, I'm gonna add the problem number 59. Okay, now guys, so check this out. It's gonna be 93 combination 1, and again, these on the outer must equal to 99, and the inner must equal to 6, because they're saying that you need to pick 6 numbers out of 99. Okay, so 6 combination 5. Right, and again, you see that's what I remember now. These will be 99, and this will be 6. So 6 combination 5 will give you 6. 93 combination 1 will give you 93. So 6 times 93 will give you 558. So that's your solution, guys. Okay, now this is the last one now. Number 25. A financial advisor offers 8 mutual funds in high risk category, 7 in the moderate risk category, and 10 in the low risk category. An investor decides to invest 3 at high risk, 4 moderate risk, and 3 low risk funds. How many ways can the investor do this? Okay, so here we go. So we have 8 mutual funds, right? And you're gonna invest 3. So it's gonna be 8 combination 3. Then from the moderate risk, there's 7, right? And you're going to choose 4. So it's going to be from invest 4 from the 7. So it's going to be 7 combination 4. And finally, there's 10 low risk, right? And you're gonna invest 3. So it's going to be invest 3 from the 10. So it's going to be 10 combination 3. So 8 combination 3 will give you 56. 7 combination 4 will give you what? 35. And 10 combination 3 will give you 120. If you guys don't know how to find these numbers by doing the work, look at the video from last week at the recording, or you can ask the tutors how to do it with a calculator and how to do it by hand. So then we multiply all these numbers, so we get 235,200. And I believe, guys, this is it for the final review. Okay. Hey guys, I want to thank you for staying, and hopefully this video can be real helpful for your final exam. If you want a copy of this PowerPoint or any other PowerPoints that I have, or if you want them all, you can send me an email and say this is so and so, and I would like the PowerPoints that you've presented up to this point, and I can send you all of them. Okay, or you want this one? It's up to you. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much to Mr. Sassi for presenting today and reviewing the semester. I want to thank the audience for coming and reviewing the concepts and for being a wonderful audience. I do hope that you had a wonderful fall semester, and I do want to wish you guys good luck on all your finals. Online tutoring will be available for the remainder of this week and next week for finals week, and still in case you still wanted to study. and we will see you guys next semester for the following Happy Math Hour events.